Couch with Koel. If she becomes president, she's going to call her husband the first dude. She's been in the news for all the right reasons and certainly for all the wrong ones. In 2012, she could become the most powerful person in the world, whether you like it or not. I have Governor Sarah Palin right here on my couch. This is a coup. So what do you think when I first say India to you? What comes to mind?
The diversity, just amazing. The geographic diversity. It's so lush and yet dense with population. So there's all that going on. But then the diversity of the cultures and the religion and it's just quite fascinating. And as I said in my remarks, India is a good leader by example for so many other countries that could emulate the things that are being done in terms of tolerance and embracing that diversity.
So do you think there are some things that we might have got right that America hasn't?
I'm not going to say that America would be behind India in anything, but India certainly has made very good decisions, especially in these last couple of decades where there's been more of a recognition of what liberty will mean to people in terms of work ethic and self-reliance and what free markets can provide with prosperity and opportunity for people. India's made some great decisions along those lines.
And your personal association with India, this is your first trip here, I take it?
It is. I wish I had more time. I want to see the mountains. I want to see Taj Mahal. There's so much that I want to do here.
What have you seen?
We saw wonderful scenery from our hotel windows, and then driving around, we had some amazing experiences on the roads. I thought as we were driving from the airport to the hotel, how do kids learn how to drive here? Are they told to stay in their lanes?
No, we're told, see a space, grab it. No kidding. Would you dare to drive here, do you think?
I think it would be fun. You know, we're all up for motorsports and up for adrenaline rushes, and that's what I got in the ride to the hotel was an adrenaline rush.
So I want to know, is this my adrenaline rush of talking to the future president?
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to take that as an encouragement. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with politics. I know that I'm going to continue to keep working extremely hard for a good positive message for America, and we'll see where that takes us.
So it's a maybe. You're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
So on a personal level, here's a future presidency, and you've got 5 children, a grandchild, a husband. How do you manage both?
I always say the way that I can logistically manage things is because Todd is such a great helpmate. He's such a great partner. But Todd and I both have very large families, a great network of help. We have 5 generations living close by where everybody pitches in and helps take care of kids and just help get everybody from point A to point B, and the logistics work.
But something must give. So what do you think you're sacrificing for the bigger ambition?
You know, that's a great question. In terms of what would be sacrificed, I don't waste a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time to just kind of sit around and laze around. We're usually doing 2 or 3 things at once. So maybe if there were a sacrifice, it would be just not spending a whole lot of just downtime. But it's kind of how I'm wired, and Todd is too, where we do want to go. We want to accomplish a lot. So
it's just wonderful how he is so caring. He came and checked your face before we started. And does it ever feel, because in India, the man has to, have this sort of macho role to a certain extent. Do you feel that he ever feels like the lesser partner, the one who's sort of shadowing you?
I don't think so, because in his own right, he's been quite successful as a businessman and such a hard worker up there in Alaska. And then he's got his own manly man stuff that he does as a world champion snow machine racer and an athlete. He does his thing, I do my thing, and we just happen to, thankfully, have met at a very early age and became a team at a very early age, that as we've grown up together, we've shared much, challenges, joys. That partnership that we have is very, very valuable.
What did you then, as parents, advise Bristol when you found out that she was having a baby?
Well, we warned her, of course, that it was going to be much more difficult than she probably could have imagined at 17. And she says now that she's 20, she looks back and she says, "Mom, you were right. I had no idea how unglamorous and how much work it is." But at the same time, what an absolute joy her child is. Her son is just a precious, beautiful, vibrant blessing to our family. So the situation that Bristol was in, it looked like it was this life-challenging, insurmountable hurdle for her at the time. But a couple years later, she sees now what a blessing this has all been.
So what does the governor do when she's off duty? Because although you don't have much off-duty time, because you're always in front of the camera these days, even though you've, resigned, but you're doing your Fox and you're doing your show and...
What I do to relax is I go running. We love to work out. We love to be out snow machining or hiking or fishing, anything in the great outdoors. That's our leisure time.
What is the most last ordinary thing you ever did?
Lots and lots of laundry before I got on the airplane for the 19-hour flight to India. That's an ordinary thing. Now, we do a lot of normal things because we don't have a big staff. We have help with family and a couple of my friends who do help, but we do all those normal things that keep us very, very grounded.
Now, coming to the meeting with President Zardari, he actually happened to say something like, "Oh, we can hug too." Was he flirting with you at that point? Like, what was that about?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
No, but as a woman, how did you feel? Like, was it a bit...
What I was thinking was, okay, what are you going to ask me of substance? And looking forward to the policy discussion, kind of getting around and through the frivolity and just wanting to talk substance.
And did he?
Yes, we sure did. We talked a lot about some commonalities and some challenges between the countries.
Who is the person you would like to meet in India that perhaps in this short flyby visit you can't, but who is an Indian you would like to meet?
Well, I already have met the biographer for Mother Teresa, and that was a thrill.
Because you talked about the sketch that you have of the drawing that you have of Mother Teresa, yes.
And the lessons that she has taught this world. So he, and me being able to thank him for helping to share her story with the rest of the world. And, of course, I had already met your Prime Minister, and that was a thrill a few years ago. Gosh, there are so many dynamic, interesting people in India. Again, I wish I could stay much longer to meet more of you.
Now, what angers you? Because sometimes it's been reported that, Governor Sarah Palin has a temper. So what really angers you the most?
Well, I don't really have a temper. I think as a mom, you have to stay calm, cool, and collected, and because you want to set an example for your kids. But that probably is something that perhaps the media has ginned up, along with a whole lot of other things that they have said about me and my family. So not necessarily being angry, but getting frustrated with some of those things that are spun or made up about my record, my accomplishments, my family. Those things get frustrating.
What is the most satisfying thing about being Sarah Palin?
It's the kids. It's my 5 kids and my grandchild. It's knowing that our family is enlarging and yet staying very connected, very grounded, very close. Nothing is more important to me than family and my relationship with Todd and my relationship with God. So having those things still in my life, very, very satisfying, certainly trumps anything that politics can provide.
And the last question, what do you make of President Obama?
Well, I won't criticize while I'm on foreign soil, our president, but I look forward to 2012, where I believe that in the nature of even this India conclave, where the balance of change, as it's changing, seeking change, I think in 2012 we're going to see a change in our country. I think it's going to be a change for the better.
And it might be Governor Sarah Palin right up there.
Don't know if it's going to be me, but I think that more and more Americans are going to say, okay, we need to get back to smaller, smarter government, letting the private sector grow and thrive, and we'll need new leaders to be able to enact policies to allow that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
my
much.
pleasure.
Thank you. It's my honor.